This week on Dumb Pitches, we're back. We're back to a consistent schedule, and that means we need to check in a little bit. So there's a lot of talk about my wedding and the do's and don'ts of that, as well as my special that's out. Big Stepdad Energy is out on Helium Comedy Studios. You can watch it right after you watch this. But here we go, Dumb Pitches.
What a bunch of dumb pitches. Oh my goodness.
Welcome to another episode of Dumb Pitches with Monica Nevi. I'm Monica Nevi, your host. This is the show where we talk to successful people about their worst ideas. And we've been a little inconsistent lately, I'll be honest. And that is because I got married. Yay, congratulations to me. And my special just came out. So there's been a lot of stuff in the last couple weeks. I had filmed some episodes in advance, but yeah, there's just a lot of shit going on. Okay, I think you understand that, and that's fine. I appreciate everyone's support of the wedding and of the special. So maybe you're just first hearing about both of these things. Is that upsetting or exciting to you? Probably exciting. Okay. My special, if you don't know, I filmed it with Helium Comedy Studios in January of this year in Philadelphia, and it came out October 16th. So this week, and it's doing well. It's hard to maybe that's a dumb pitch for the day is I had no idea what goals to set as far as views, because you're really not in control of that. You know, I can promote it and hope for the best as much as I can, but you try to be realistic based on your own, you know, social media engagement or whatever. And then you also look at other people's specials that they've recently released and just hope that you're somewhere in the middle of that, which is what happened. And I feel very good about it. But I had this idea looking at everybody else's that I wanted to get to 10,000 views by Friday, which is when this comes out. But I'm recording this on Wednesday and it's at 12,000 now. It got to 10. Yeah. Blake's excited.
Hell yeah.
We got to 10,000 in like 48 hours. So that was good. I feel good about that. And then you just, you know, I haven't looked at the comments since the like very beginning, which is good. I'm assuming they're mean. No, they were nice at the time. But so I feel good about that and just wanted to kind of keep going. And for the first time in a long time, this is something that I think is starting to like trickle back to me. A lot of people posted about it, and then, you know, Helium has their own following. And so I'm seeing some of my followers go up, and especially my subscribers on YouTube. So that's good. Welcome if you're new. Because, yeah, it's been a long time since I've been on something or done something that actually had that kind of response. That wasn't just like somebody posting about me that is far more successful or famous than I am, which is very effective too. But the whole point is you do the special and you want as many people to see it so that they get excited to come see you perform in real life, which you can do. You could do that. That seems like a great, you know, and I have a lot of fun dates coming up. This weekend I'm in Eureka, California at Savage Henry's Comedy Club. Next weekend, I'm in Louisville, Kentucky at Planet of the Tapes. The weekend after that, I'll be in Los Angeles on the Thursday at Third Wheel Hollywood there. And then Friday and Saturday, I'm at the Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego. This is good stuff. Then I'll be in New York for a night. And November 17th, I'll be at Stand Up New York that night. So we got a lot of places that people have been asking for a while. I'm coming to do it live. So if you miss it, it's your own fucking fault, okay? Because I figured it out, and we're working on plenty of other places for next year, including Austin. That's exciting. Raleigh, North Carolina, Indianapolis, Portland. What's the other one? Philadelphia. I'm going to come back to Philadelphia. So yeah, lots of good stuff happening with the special. That's great. I'm also married, and I think that's what I wanted to talk about most today. No guests, just because we're getting back to, we'll be consistent from now on as well. It was a lot going on. And Maybe it shouldn't be funny, but it is funny to me. So this is probably an overshare, but this is a podcast, my podcast. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Leading up to my wedding, it seems that I have gotten an intestinal infection. It's not funny, but it's just the timing of like, I don't know, you see all those girls post like, oh, I'm trying to manifest all these things, and it just made me think that like manifesting weight loss for your wedding instead of exercising. I just got an intestinal infection, which I did lose weight. I was exercising too. Anyways. But it hasn't gone away. I thought it was just stress. So I thought like 3 weeks before my wedding, I was really anxious already. My anxiety just got really, really bad. And I assumed that issues I was having with my stomach were because of that. And then we had the wedding. Everything went fine, which I'll get into more about how I dealt with that in a little bit. And then it didn't go away. And so now I'm having to see specialists to see if we can figure it out. And this is an odd thing to hope for, but we're hoping that it's C. diff, which is a intestinal infection, versus a chronic disease that I would have to deal with for the rest of my life. So cross your fingers for C. diff, everybody. Which is like, I've only been thinking about that because, well, one, they can treat that and then it goes away. I don't want it to be something else that I would have to deal with for longer. But people have often told me, more than 5 times in my career, that told me that I remind them of Tig Notaro, who I take that as a compliment. I think she's wonderful and hilarious, and she has low energy similar to mine, or honestly even lower. And then, I married a lady too, and I was hoping that the similarities would stop there, because she kind of famously had C. diff and had to go to the hospital for it and have all these, like, got really bad. And then I had breast cancer after that. So let's hope that it stops. Maybe it's C. diff and that'll end. That'll end there, which I'm fine. I feel like, okay, I'm totally functional and everything's good. So that's hoping for the best as far as it not being anything else. Let's just get rid of that. But I did have this, whatever it is, infection thing up until and then through my wedding. So it's hard to enjoy some of the really exciting parts of my life when something else weird is going on. So at least for the special, it just came out and I didn't have to go anywhere for it. But I had to deal with some like considerable stress and anxiety for the wedding. And so that led me to try a lot of different things to try to deal with my anxiety beforehand. And so then you look up, like, it's fairly common that people have like panic attacks, especially if you already have a panic disorder on or around your wedding. I had a big one on the morning of, but then I essentially spent the week before my wedding creating a concoction of supplements and CBD and stuff like that actually calmed me down. And I don't mean to get preachy, but I love the idea of using CBD or natural stuff or whatever supplements to combat these things, only because you can take as much as you want. If you're on Xanax, you're going to die eventually. So and also I wanted to drink at my own wedding. So I didn't want to take Xanax or some other type of medication that you wouldn't be able to drink with. And what a bummer. What a bummer way to go out on your wedding day. It really would probably taint the experience for everyone else. So I figured CBD was the best way to go. And so like every hour that day, I had so much different stuff. I had lithium carbonate, which is a very low dose of lithium, like you would give someone for a mood stabilizer. I had saffron, which is expensive, but saffron pills have been studied to be a mood enhancer as well. CBD, I had a stress relief one that has like valerian root, which a lot of people use for sleep, but when your anxiety is so high, just using it normally is fine too. And then I would just like kind of trade off what I was taking every hour until we walked down the aisle, and then everything was fine. I mean, you can see Blake actually did the video for us, which was very nice, and it looked beautiful. And so he was there, so you could tell. And then you watched it afterwards, so you can see me like swaying back and forth essentially the whole time. Like we're doing, and I felt like you watch the video, and it looks like I'm in a huddle as an athlete, like because I'm like looking and like I'll respond to like the officiant and to Erin, my now wife, and kind of like yep, paying attention, but I'm like swaying back and forth the whole time.
Oh, right. What was the lady's name?
Sarah.
And she's like, Monica.
Yeah.
Monica.
Yeah, she said Monica. And then I was trying to get the ring on Erin's finger, and it wouldn't go all the way on, and she was like, because she wanted me to, say I do, but she needed my attention first. So yeah, she was like, Monica. And then I was putting on, she goes, Monica, which our officiant was Sarah Colonna, who's been a guest on the podcast. If you don't know who she is, she was on Chelsea Lately for a long time, and in a ton of other stuff. Very funny comedian. So it was a great ceremony. Everything went amazing. We looked great. We had a beer boy and a beer girl instead of a flower girl and ring bearer, and that was hilarious, and everyone thought that was funny. We had a wagon. My cousins passed out Bud Lights and Coronas and Pacificos to everybody to start it off, which was good because there wasn't any I was afraid in the middle of our vows or something it was going to be like but everybody opened them right away, or didn't open them, I guess. And then Sarah was hilarious. It was so funny, and our vows went well. Erin's were really funny, which made me nervous. It was hard to follow, but it went well, and a lot of people cried, which I didn't really expect. But
what's pocket cheese?
What's pocket cheese?
Yes.
Yeah. Which is, So, of course, in your vows, you put some inside jokes, I guess. But it's funny because I don't know if anybody else knew what that was. So, pocket cheese is my favorite kind of cheese. When you go downstairs to go to the bathroom at night, you grab a string cheese and put it in your pocket, and then bring it back up. You let it sit there for a little bit, and then it kind of warms up a little bit. That's my favorite. So sometimes Erin will go to the bathroom and then come back up, and I'll feel her pockets to see if she's got any cheese in there. It's for me. It's not for her because she's a good wife. But yeah, that's pocket cheese. She said something else before that. I can't remember what it was, but it was, to hold my tummy. That's what. She just puts her hand on my stomach when it hurts. It's very sweet. But yeah, but the best part of her vows is that we're big Love Island fans. Did you know that that's what that was from?
No, one of my guests was just on Love Island.
Oh, really?
Tiger Lily.
Oh.
She was only on for I think it was really like a promo thing.
I was going to say, was it like a cameo situation?
She was only on there for 2 or 3 episodes.
Oh, huh.
Yeah,
okay.
Weird.
But we love Love Island, specifically the UK version. So she started her vows with, the girl I would like to couple up with is, which is how they all start when they're recoupling at the end of the episode or whatever they say. So she did her whole wedding vows like she was recoupling on Love Island. So it was great. It went well. But yeah, I guess I don't even know if it's a good idea. I was just trying so many things to not feel anxious. My concern, and I need to make this clear, I was not worried about getting married to her. I was worried about feeling good on our wedding day. I didn't want to be, not feeling good or anxious or whatever, and kind of taint the experience, especially because she worries about me so much. So I wanted to feel as good as possible so that it was an enjoyable situation, and it was. It really was. We, even the more conservative people that had been invited, there wasn't many of them, but everybody had a good time, and it was good. And I was able to joke about things, and everything was, I think everyone just to say hey, these people are happy, we should just be happy for them. I did a little thank you speech during which I told everyone we were gay. So I feel like that was the best time to do it. They're at our wedding, if they didn't know. Which we did post a video of just that little clip. But yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. Oh God, did I not start this?
14.
Huh?
14 minutes.
Oh,
in.
sweet, perfect. How did you feel about it, Blake? You got to sneak in.
I liked it, but I don't think I could ever be a wedding video. There's too much pressure into being a wedding videographer.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't want people to think we just like. So we actually didn't intend to do a video at all.
I'm happy you did.
Yeah, I am too now. But so my grandmother, her husband, we didn't know, and so they couldn't come. They couldn't make it. So we wanted to film it for her.
Could have live stream. You could have done a live stream.
Yeah, it just FaceTimed her.
Yeah. I think I learned though that I've been learning, in my opinion, for lots of different types of art, whether it's comedy or painting or whatever. Like you really have to be drawn to it to a certain extent.
I see. You got to be interested in it. You
And
don't
it's
think
not-
you just want to watch a bunch of people's weddings?
No, it's not that I wasn't. It wasn't that. It was just like editing a wedding video versus editing a podcast is so
Yeah.
different. There's like so much higher stakes, and that's like people's like lives that you're.
Yeah.
And there's like so much more emotion attached. Like there's emotion attached to a podcast, but like
I said the
You're
same
not-
kind of emotion. Blake texted me while he was editing it, and he was like, "I'm getting kind of choked up watching your vows again." And I was like,
Yeah.
"Well, that means they were good. That's good." Yeah. Well,
very
and
intense, but it was good.
but I wouldn't do anything to do with weddings except for officiate, I guess, because that's what I do. But knowing all of the other stuff, I get it. Maybe you would make more money because you can fucking upcharge for everything to do with a wedding, but the people, the event coordinators, the people, like anybody involved is just like this elevated like intensity
Yeah.
for some, because it's supposed to be that person's the biggest day of their life, the happiest day of their life, and if you fuck it up, like that kind of thing, which that wasn't the vibe we wanted at all. We were like, we want the whole thing to be chill. We don't want a lot of pressure on us, so don't put pressure on yourselves. We picked all small businesses, and most of them were women owned and things like that, because
Black owned over here.
black owned, because we didn't want some big business coming in. And actually the only people we had trouble with were the people that we didn't hire, and I'm really fucking mad at them, actually, and I'm taking all that I have not to call them out specifically, because they're anyways.
Now I want to know.
I will tell you.
Okay.
But if you're in Seattle and you're planning a wedding, and I will tell you which bartenders not to use. You can message me and I will tell you which bartenders not to use, because it wasn't that bad, but all these little things happened. Like they stopped serving our keg just because they ran out of cups, not because the keg was empty. Why did you run out of cups? I don't know.
Yeah.
We asked them only to do a cocktail hour, and they just kept serving hard alcohol after that. Just things that we had asked for didn't get done. So when we brought that up, they denied it, got really mad at us, were like bullying us about it, and it was just weird and really unprofessional. I don't know. So if you're interested, I will tell you who it is. But yeah, because if I was a pettier person, I would have like posted something about it specifically and been like, don't use these guys.
Yeah.
But everything is, or at least should be, it seems more important, right? Like you should be nervous about it. So doing a video that they're going to have forever of this day that's like supposed to be the best thing ever seems like a lot of stress. Obviously we just literally were fine with like just a video of it. And you did a lot of extra stuff, so that was nice of you. Just because I wanted to show my grandma who couldn't be there.
Hell yeah.
Like that was it. So, but other people that apparently people are like inviting their friends over and like showing them the video again, and they're like, we were there. I don't know why you're showing us this. Like, I get it later, when you're going through a divorce, you want to watch your wedding video. No, when I don't know, later on, or maybe on your anniversaries or something, you watch it again. That's just kind of what it's for. Or when your kids get older, maybe you didn't have kids. We already have a kid, but you didn't have kids, then you want to show them. I get like having it, but I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it needs to be that intense. And every wedding video I've watched before, like my parents and stuff, it's like they're like, we look insane and this is so old, long ago, and like it's just kind of funny to watch. It's just not as intense as they make it. But I don't know. I've only really officiated for people that know what they're getting into. They know I'm a comedian. They want something that's not really religious. They want, whatever. So it's a more chill vibe anyways. But I couldn't imagine working for a bride that has more of that like Bridezilla type of vibe.
Right. What's pretty interesting is that people make wedding videos now to post online.
Do they post their whole video?
That's what I was going when I was watching. I was on YouTube and just like watching lots of wedding videos to have somewhat of an understanding what to do.
That feels like.
But people don't remember they used to be
just watching other people's wedding videos.
A lot.
Really? Does it have a lot of views?
Yeah.
Maybe that's it. Maybe you're looking for what you want your wedding to look like. I mean, I know.
Or look at PewDiePie, the YouTuber.
No, but
I don't know PewDiePie. Oh, he's like one of the biggest YouTubers in the world, and he has like.
So he has his wedding video.
He has like tens of millions of views on his wedding video.
I could see it being a famous person or whatever, a well followed person wanting to see that. But there's still. I mean, I don't know, whatever. I'm not famous, but there's still this, we invited certain people on purpose. It was a special day. We didn't invite the whole world, so they don't need to see it either. Like, they don't need to be there. I don't know. Is that a bad thing to think about it? It'll be on YouTube memberships.
There we go.
You got to pay for it. No.
It used to just be on like a VHS, right? Or something.
Yeah. What you doing? What you got to bring somewhere? Like who? Like that's.
Come watch this.
I brought my tape over. Yeah, and that would be so much easier to lose, I think.
Yeah, or like when people like, I don't know. I just used to see this in movies, like someone would actually overwrite.
They recorded Hocus Pocus over the top of your wedding video. Yeah. Yes, I've seen that. I've mentioned like they're like, oh yeah, we used to have a wedding video, and then Ron recorded his golf over it or something. That's so awkward.
One thing I was surprised about with the wedding was your guys's your drinks.
Our signature cocktails.
Yeah, I was expecting you to have the gin one because you got me into gin.
Yeah. Well, I
you
do
had bourbon
still drink.
Or something, right?
Yeah, mine was bourbon, but I will say it was a light. It had also had huckleberry vodka in it, and then like some soda. It was a lighter bourbon drink. But I like whiskey and have been. I joke about being in my gin years now, because before that period would have been my whiskey years. So, but Aaron likes gin too, so we picked one of each so that there was a little bit of. Did you try them?
Yeah, I tried both.
You tried both.
Yeah.
Good. I only got the whiskey one. So
what?
I know. I think I like tried a sip of hers, but we like made the cocktails up with a distillery that we were members at, and they gave us discounted liquor and all this stuff. Like, we went through this whole process, so we had tried them, but then the bartenders, who again I wasn't a fan of, have to replicate that drink, and they just like skipped some things. Like, we bought all these cardamom bitters that were for my cocktail, and we still have like 3 bottles left. Like, I don't think they were using them. So whatever. But so I'm not sure if it tastes exactly the same way we had like made them, but I felt like that was a good idea. Maybe if you're going to do signature cocktails, do it with whoever's going to be serving them, I guess. Yeah. I think I wouldn't work in the wedding industry. That would be the bad idea. But that just seemed like, and the coordinators and stuff, like, our coordinator did a great job, but I'm still like a little bit mad at her from this bartender situation, because they're the ones who picked them. Yeah, just like, no matter what, there's a little bit of, first of all, something's going to go wrong no matter what. So just expect that, and that's going to be okay. Take with the punches, I had a panic attack first thing in the morning, so that was good. Got that out of the way. And then which I didn't even do this on purpose, but my best man took my phone the whole day. I didn't have it. So that was helpful in that he took a lot of pictures and videos, which is kind of the only thing you would want your phone for. And then you don't have to answer people's questions. So that was good. I mean, we did things a lot differently. We got ready together. We stayed in the same room, of course, the night before and after. And it had a big bathtub, which on the night of our wedding, we overflowed. It was like we just filled it up to get in, got in it, and we didn't probably think about having 2 people in there. And then it like just went all the way over the sides, all over the bathroom
Oh
floor.
my gosh.
Then we didn't have enough towels, so I like had to take the robes and like. It's a good story though, I think. But yeah, I think I couldn't even imagine not having an open bar. Like making people pay for drinks at a wedding. I guess maybe if you have 200 people, but that's the other thing. Don't feel obligated to invite everyone you've ever met. We got really picky and kind of pulled apart the guest list and picked certain family members and not others. And a lot of my dad's friends their kids are all my same age, and so we've gone to each other's weddings, but they understood. We did like a different party, whatever, which is we showed them the video there, but because that was going to be the difference between 80 people and 150, which is $15,000 more.
Jesus.
For everything, because you got to get more booze, more food, more seat, whatever. It's got to be all more plates, because you have to pay for all that shit too, the plates and the chairs and whatever. So yeah, just a big number adds up more money. I don't know, which maybe if you work for them, that's great, but we got a lot of stuff on like OfferUp, or there's all these like wedding resale groups on like Facebook and stuff. So if you're needing to get like candles or whatever decoration type of stuff, look there first, because buying it, firsthand is more expensive. I think the most expensive decoration we had was the sign that we had. We had a sign made, like a custom, one of those neon ones. I feel like everyone has them for their podcast too, which is funny, because I was like, because they have them like behind their.
The sweet, it says sweet or something on it.
Ours says "Sweet to you always."
There we go.
Because if one of us is being grumpy, then we go "Sweet to me always." Like that's like, it's more of a threat really than like a nice thing. But I said "Sweet to you always," and then people could take pictures by it or whatever. But yeah, I feel like a lot of podcasts have like their podcast name made in those like neon signs.
Joe Rogan.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You could do that. We did think about getting Joe Rogan Experience, but is that what it's called? Experience? I don't know. Yeah, that was like $400 though.
Jeez.
Yeah, they're kind of expensive. And then they fucked it up the first time. So
did Lyndon have a good time?
He had a great time. It's so funny. That's my stepson. He likes attention, so everybody was giving him all the attention. He like loved the photographer. He likes a well-dressed adult man. Like I think he wants to, the more my friends are dressed nicely, the more he like gives them attention. It's really weird, but I think he wants to kind of like, he sees them as a cool guy kind of thing. And so he really liked our photographer, who's also Aaron's favorite poet. There's a reason we hired them. But so that was nice, because then they were like, we're kind of buddies now with them because of that. But afterwards he was like, he's like, don't tell anybody, but this was way more fun than my birthday. I was like, cool. Well, good, because it was way more expensive. So, but he had a great time. And it was nice because, her family's from California, and a lot of them came up. So he got to see them for a lot longer, which is good, because we only get to see them like once a year. And not to mention, some of her friends she hasn't seen in like 5 years. So that part was really good, and good for him that he got to see and got all the attention. He got so much attention for it not being his wedding day. He was like running. He would run and then try to slide on his knees, like, like dancing. Like he would run and try to slide in the middle. But they're like slacks. They're not. So it didn't really slide very far at all. And he just kept trying to do it. It was really funny. And then he came to our room the next morning pretty early so that he could take a bath. It was a big bathtub, which every time anybody came in our room, we're like, "Did you see the bathtub? You gotta go check out the bathtub." So there you go. That's a good. Make sure your honeymoon suite or whatever it's called, wedding suite, has a big bathtub.
Ooh, where was your honeymoon at?
We didn't take a honeymoon.
Oh.
We're gonna wait, I guess. I don't know. It's a complicated one because we did pay for a lot of our wedding. So even with, gifts and stuff, it's kind of going back to paying off the things we just paid for,
Right.
which is kind of dumb, but I think that's how it works a lot of times. And then because we do share custody of said child, it's hard to negotiate time and stuff like that. So
Wait, have you been to Whidbey Island before?
mm-hmm.
Recently?
Last
Okay, so not in the past like a week or two.
no, not why? Did you see me there?
I had a weird I couldn't tell if it was a dream or not. I had a weird dream that you sent me a selfie saying honeymoon at Whidbey Island.
Oh, that's hilarious. And I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Hey, just so you know.
Yeah.
So right.
It was like the most random.
That's hilarious. No, well, I will say the one thing that we do is kind of like we used to, I guess, before we were saving money for a wedding and all that stuff. It's like once every 2 months we will go to the peninsula or the islands and just like find an Airbnb that's like in the woods so you can be away from stuff.
Weird how that kind of
That's weird.
matches up.
Maybe I've said that before, but
I don't
no, that was a dream. I did not send you a selfie from from Whidbey Island on my honeymoon that I haven't taken.
Oh man.
Oh my gosh. I don't. Basically, that was just too much. Is it do's and don'ts of getting married with anxiety? I don't know. I don't even know. Well, Blake has learned he will not be doing wedding videography as a career.
I'll be a wedding DJ maybe.
There you go. Yeah. Do you think that seems fun too, or
The DJ part?
limiting? Yeah.
Very limiting, but you get paid well.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think a lot of DJs do both. Like
Yeah. Yeah. Actually,
do that
you're right.
to get paid and then do their other stuff, which I understand. That's like comics doing corporates or whatever.
Yeah.
That's not fulfilling, but you do it for the money and then you can do the other stuff that you want to do.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Because you're not even really. Usually, you don't play your music even.
Right. Well, yeah, and then they request a bunch of stuff. And we
Yeah.
tried to give him a little bit more leeway. We were like, here's the songs we really want you to play. Here are some, if you have time. And then we were like, make them fit into like your set kind of thing. But I felt like he was just do it. It was funny because if we requested the song, then he would play the whole thing. But otherwise, he would like play not very much of it, and people were getting pretty irritated by that because they'd be like into it and then he'd change it, but it was whatever. It was fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I had cool shoes.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Jordans.
Yes, gold Jordans.
Gold Jordans.
Yeah. Anyways, so that's good. So we'll be back to a normal schedule. These episodes, you can subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. My special is on YouTube, but it's on Helium Comedy Studios channel. So you have to go there to watch it, which is still free and all that stuff. You can get on YouTube memberships where my wedding I will post. There was one episode from the festival that I recorded that the audio is kind of weird, but it's really a good episode. So I'm going to put that just for YouTube members. So that way, if you want to deal with the audio, you can. If not, whatever. We'll have Andrew Slater on a different time to actually, he's like, I got other ideas because he didn't want to repitch those ones. But those ones are really funny. So I think it's worth checking out. Also, I know I talked a lot about CBD and stuff today. There's a company that I like and they like me. So they have sent me some stuff to try. And actually this is a Calm tincture. And I used this on the day of my wedding and it really honestly probably saved the day. They are called Black Creek, but it's BLKCRK. And if you go to blkcrkcbd.com, you can use Monica15 for 15% off. They have a bunch of stuff. They have sleep, calm, there's focus, there's energy. It's all just CBD. There's no THC in it. And they also have stuff for like dogs, and like you can give your dogs a little bit of CBD, calm them down. So you can check it out. Yeah, you might as well check it out and then get 15% off. Use code Monica15. Yeah, I feel pretty good about it.
Hell yeah.
Is there anything else? I don't know. I haven't done this in a little while. I feel like. But just right now, you can keep watching Dumb Pitches.
You're weird.
Yes.